5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, great flick on by Alan Armstrong. Oh, what a beauty! Oh, what a beauty! I waited all my life for that. What a screamer!
So tonight we've had an audience with the one and only Dave Challoner at the King's Tap in Cheelham in Stockport. Around 40 or 50 people, I think, attended. Me and Nick asked questions and got loads of private insight from him. So it's not in a pub where there's loads of people shouting stuff. It was really intimate. I've been doing a county podcast since January 2015, and tonight was just an extension of that, in association with Fan Hub.
Dave Challoner coming down is fantastic. We hope we can have more of that interaction. That's brought our crowd down, and for the Stockport fans, it's a huge value for them. So to see their leader who's taken them back into the Football League for the first time in so many years, and that's exactly what we're looking for. We think that Stockport have seen the value in what we're doing, and we really reward that, and we hope that more clubs can see that value and partner with us next season to deliver these events. But Russ has done a fantastic job with the live podcast. That doesn't have to be the strict format, but we're really looking to deliver more live events to benefit our users and fans going into next season.
So it's a really good partnership, and long may it continue, and we'll do more of these. We've got plans to get more players on and do even more, so watch this space.
Not very slick, that was it, but whatever.
That was reasonably slick. The weather's good. News out of county's good, unless you're waiting for a champion shirt. England are good. Hello and welcome to the Stockport County, your weekly audio-visual helping of all things what are about county. We are back, and unfortunately for you, I'm Nick Lee, here with you for the next hour to an hour and a half. To offset the inevitable damage done by myself, I'm joined by a man who's so bored that just this week he went to Lush and set off all the sprinklers. Mayhem. It's Russ Johnson. You all right, mate?
Yeah, how do you? All right?
Yeah. You obviously, we showed everyone a little the trailer for our live show. Russ Johnson has done a good job with the live show, hasn't he?
I don't know why they didn't mention you.
Afterthought over here.
I don't know. That wasn't planned, by the way. That wasn't planned.
I turned up, and that should be all anyone can expect from me. And
well, it is.
Wasn't good enough. How are you doing anyway, mate? You good?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah. I'm just trying to fill the football void while counties. There's not much happening. I say not much happening. Obviously, we signed a couple of players, and the fixtures are out next week, aren't they? The Football League fixtures. Ooh, we'll get into that when we get our guests on. Just fixtures.
Mean. Unnecessarily mean already.
Why? I'm just saying it's a part of what we're going to chat about with our guests.
It's a part of life, you could say.
Yeah, fixtures and fittings, football fixtures,
fittings. The pizza tray trophy.
Pizza tray trophy.
The Worthington Cup.
The Carabao. What is it called? Carabao Cup.
Carabao. Yeah, which is a Oriental energy drink.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't trust it. All of this non-league nonsense, we don't have to talk about it again until after tonight's show.
Yeah. Because this is our cultural exchange, isn't it, Russ? And with that in mind, why don't you tell us who we've got coming up and what we're going to be talking about?
We've got coming up very soon. I'm going to get him out straight away. A very good friend of ours. It's Matt Dean from the Boundary Park Alert System. So we'll get him out now. I say the Boundary Park Alert System. You're more than that, aren't you?
Yeah, I got a bit worried when you said you were going to get out your good. I can't remember what you said now, but it had rude connotations. And anyway, yeah. How's it going? All right.
Yeah, all right. How are you?
Thanks for whipping me out in public. Right. It's good to be on. Good to be on. Yeah, more than that now. Boundary Park Alert System, Latics Football Phone-in, and I don't want to, is this a good time?
Yeah, it's
This
a good
is the
time.
best time.
And what's going to be the greatest Manchester football podcast as well.
Yeah.
Which, believe you two are going to be involved in, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Russ is heavily involved, and I'm certainly going to turn up and get no recognition for it. So he could say we're all involved.
Excellent. And we're going to be joined later by another. We've got a Nick. He's called Dave. He's going to be turning up later and getting.
Is he also a complete nutter in the best possible way? Is he?
Absolutely. Yeah. He is. Yeah. Thanks for having me on, lads. Appreciate it. It's good to be back on your pod. And I must say your intro has. I mean, I was going to say it's really taken off, but literally because you got the rocket now and all that. Fantastic.
Did you see our little faces in the rocket going up?
I did. I did. I waved. Good luck.
So yeah, I think before we get into stuff, I mean, Dave's going to join us. I think about 2025 past. Bit on the Greatest Manchester Football Pod first. That's something that we're doing together. We're going to get. We've already lined up a City fan, a City journalist. We've already got some Rochdale lads involved. We're hoping to get clubs, podcasters from the other clubs as well, aren't we, to get involved and do it on a rota basis. And basically, just talk about, is it a barn? Is it a bread roll? Football's probably going to be secondary, to be fair, isn't it?
Yeah, well, from an Oldham point of view,
yeah. We can't find a Man United fan though. It's like them shy Tories. No one's willing to admit to being a Man United fan to come on the show, which is I don't think anyone will care though. I don't think it'll impinge on the quality of the show.
I'm sure once they've heard the show, they'll definitely not come on. So we do need to get them on before we go out live. Really, I mean, for me, what I would like a myth busting United fan. So I'd like a United fan that comes on and who actually does know about football beyond Man United. Do they exist?
Yeah.
Does anyone know one? I mean, because if we can find one of them, I think we'll have done really well.
Yeah. There's about 5 million African football experts who claim to support United on Facebook. So maybe get one of them because they really know their stuff.
And well, look, I mean, we need someone who knows their stuff on this podcast, don't we?
Well, yeah, let's get one of the pro Mason Greenwood gang on. That'll go down well.
Well, this is it. We could talk about all this stuff now, can't we? All these little topics that we started to talk about on this podcast, but we had to rein it in because it wasn't about county.
Yeah.
So
I think at the end of the day, because you floated the idea of the Northwest Football Podcast, and then we had a chat and sort of figured it might just be better to scale it down to our local region of Greater Manchester because we've got so many teams. Like the rivalry between our local teams, for me, it's what I'm absolutely gutted. Obviously, that we got relegated to the National League, but for years we've been looking forward to Stockport away and you coming up to Oldham having that local game again. So the timing of it in true Latic style is god awful, typical. But that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's all about those local games and the local rivalries and having mates who support teams in and around you that you can take the mick out of and all that kind of stuff. So I think at the end of the day, none of us really wanted to have to include the Scouse teams, did we? So that's why we brought it down to Greater Manchester. It just made it easier.
Crew was the issue for me. No problem talking about the Scouse teams, but Crew, nah, my blood pressure won't take it.
Well, with you doing your half marathon, your blood pressure is something that we really need to keep an eye on, isn't it?
Yeah, more on that later, listeners and watchers.
Yeah. So yeah, that's going to be loads of fun, isn't it?
Unconvincing way ever.
Sounds like we've already had one commenting through saying it's a barn and it's Cheshire, so none of this Greater Manchester nonsense. But we can have that discussion as well.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. So I don't like cricket because I'm not from Lancashire, and Cheshire doesn't really have a cricket team, I don't think. But all these Lancastrians love cricket, don't they?
I don't like cricket because I'm not a paedophile.
For me, all these things well, it used to be here and it used to be there. I mean, what happens is at the end of that argument is you invade Ukraine. So you know what I mean? You invade Poland and start World War II. This is what happens. Boundaries change. That's normal, right? A city like Manchester grows and swallows up the things. the places around it and becomes a different. So what? Yeah, it used to be in Cheshire. Oldham used to be in Lancashire. It still is in a way. It don't matter. You know what I mean? It's Greater Manchester now. That's just part and parcel of it. So, like for me, that argument, I'm sure whoever's put the comment might have a counter argument. Everyone's entitled to their own views, but that's my view. Things change,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, nowadays, in this day where you can identify as what you want, who's okay, Oldham's in Essex. Who's going to tell me no?
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Never looked at it like that before. I might have to think about which is my favourite county and identify as that. Yeah.
Well, talking of favourite counties, our favourite county, Russ, is of course Stockport County.
It is. I love how you've done that, mate. You've been practicing. You've been practicing.
No, but
what?
But imagine if it did.
And I know, yeah. All these years of my professionalism are rubbing off on you now, aren't they?
All these years of you rubbing off on me has rubbed off on me. Yeah.
I feel awkward in the middle.
I know. Yeah.
I feel dirty.
So should we quickly talk about? I say quickly. Why quickly? Well, let's talk about what's happened at County, and then when Bradders comes along, we can talk about. We can swap notes between Football League and National League and what happens in non-league. So pen and paper at the ready if any Oldham fans are watching. And do message in if you are watching and you're an Oldham fan. So yeah, we've signed 2 players. I think it's 2, isn't it? Yeah, Leighman-Evans. And
it's full double-barreled names now in football, isn't it?
There's so many syllables to that, isn't there? And Kyle Wootton, yeah.
Two of the National League's top performers, like consistently over the last 3 or 4 years or so.
Yeah, and even Off the Line blog said they listed all of our players that what we got in the sort of going forward, and they just went, "How is that even legal?" And that's so good, isn't it? So good.
And I reckon we'll probably see another striker come in. You'd think maybe to. Maybe as a young understudy for Madden. So that's going to be another. That's what I'd sign anyway, if it was up to me. Luckily, it's not. I'm just some gobshite behind a laptop.
So what do you think? Do you think it's Madden, Wootton, Quigley, and then another?
I think it's Wootton and Quigley going for if we're going to be 2 up top, as we were for most of last season under Challoner and under Steve as well. I think it'll be Wootton or Quigley vying for that target man type role, and then Madden and another alongside. Yeah, that's what I reckon. Anyway, that's how I'd, because from what Notts County fans have said, Wootton does a lot of his best work outside the box in terms of holding the ball up and bringing others into play, which was somewhere that I think Quigley struggled in the second half of the season. I think not down to a lack of quality, just I think the fitness issues from earlier in the season and him being brought back by Rusk when he wasn't quite fit, I think that started to take its toll. And he was out with COVID as well, like around Christmas time, I think. So yeah, makes sense to me.
But do you not think that Madden does a lot of that as well?
He does, but maybe now he can focus on just banging the goals in. He got 25 last season, like dropping deep all the time. So imagine what he can do, just like playing off the shoulder and getting them tap-ins. Oh,
I mean, it's frightening, isn't it? And we are now. I think we're outright favourites to win the league, are we? Or are we out? I think I saw that.
Yeah, but I don't think you can read too much because as a former employee of William Hill, other bookmakers are available and they're all equally shit and horrible. But the odds are purely based on where the money's going. It's just that them covering themselves. So, I mean, when your team gets promoted, you do get that giddiness, don't you? And think, yeah, I'll go and stick 20 quid on. So that counts. But I do think we should be looking at playoffs at least. You'd imagine.
Was that an orb then, just on your camera that flew across? Did you see that? Is it an orb?
Yeah, it's good that one. Yeah. I'm being haunted.
Yeah, because he got Event Fielding stuffed away somewhere.
yeah. In a suitcase in a canal, preferably.
Yeah. So Ian Dowder says 7-1 now. So I would say that's it's definitely up there, isn't it? Matt, just a quick one from you. Don't be all doom and gloom, but have you seen the odds for Oldham? Where's it looking like for you? Scratch that. Let's move on.
I don't seek this information. I'm not interested. The odds for Oldham aren't good ever, and we signed your former captain, didn't we, Hogan?
Oh yeah,
seems like a decent signing with. And then I think that's probably like spunked most of our budget on someone that's got some kind of pedigree in this division. I'm just letting it happen. I have no expectations. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. I'm not going to get excited by any signing, mainly because I don't know who they are when they come in anyway. So there's no reason to get excited. We've signed Chris Porter from your favourite second club, Nick Crew, who's 38 and got bad knees. So that's got successful season written all over it, hasn't it? For me, that's just like, well, that's someone we're going to be paying to sit on the bench or on the treatment table, but we'll see.
The thing is, County 2011 that signing, because we signed Martin Gritton when we dropped down into non-league, and it was the same scenario there. You touched on it there. The players you've not heard of, there will be a lot of that. There'll be a lot of players you've not heard of, and there'll be a lot of players that you'll sign and you'll go, "Fucking hell, is he still playing?"
Mate, we've had that for the last 4 years. We've had more players signed since these lads have come in. That you don't know who they are because they're just coming from the French third division or just from wherever. Hopcut came from last season, been playing in Israel or something, and he appeared. He was bobbins. It's just so the one thing that when a few years ago, 2 years ago, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, we got rid of Peter Clark, who went to Tranmere, played every single game since he arrived there, and has just got a deal at Warsaw, I think he's just gone to. And, he was too old. He was 35, I think, 36 at the time. And Abdallah was like, no, he's too old. Now Sheridan's just signed Chris Porter at 38. The smart money would have been to keep Peter Clark, and we'd probably still be in League Two, but it is what it is. So we're under. It's just such a car crash that you're just wondering: are we going to crash in the canal? Are we going to hit a tree? Or, what are we going to crash into? That's.
Well, we crashed into a strange chief executive who decided he wanted to run the football side of things, and staring down the relegation, down the barrel of relegation to the National League North, we signed John Macken, who hadn't played for 2 years, as Ryan Moore in the comments has pointed out, and went well for us. So you can definitely get worse.
I know, and that's the problem. That's the real worry. I mean, your club is the. I mean, you're riding high in terms of relative success now, and I think after you've been down where you've been, and as long as it's been, it really is cause for celebration getting back into the football league, because 12 years is a long time. You went down again, it's grim. So for me, I think it depends on how long we're down there or down here, I should say now, because we're here, as to whether or not I'll celebrate getting back up again, because I think there's no way we're going to bounce straight back again. But if we did, let's just live in a parallel universe. It would just be a case of relief more than anything else.
Well, you're 25-1 to win the league, and for promotion, you are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You are sixth favourite, 7-1 for promotion. Wrexham are 1-2.
Yeah,
but they'll probably bottle it again.
Well. Yeah, who knows? But there's teams. The thing is that Grimsby being the exception to the rule in terms of what they did, but mostly teams that get relegated because they're shit, and then that group of players moves on, and so you've got to start again, haven't you? Pretty much. Yeah. And the teams that are finishing in the playoffs and are in forward momentum are a bit of a unit, and they're adding a few players, so they're the ones with all the momentum going in the right direction. We're still in that free fall going in the wrong direction. We're having to reassemble a new team again. And it very, very rarely does it work in those circumstances. So I think if we finish mid-table, most Latics fans will be like, well, as long as we don't go down again, it's probably not the end of the world.
I've got to be pretty bad to drop down from this league. Famous word. Yeah, you've got, because there's normally at least one team who will have like financial irregularities or something, so they'll just take like voluntary relegation, and then it's just you're normally fighting it out with like two like London commuter towns for like the other 3 spots normally.
Yeah, I mean you have to be pretty bad to finish in bottom 2 in 4th division, don't you? To be fair, because that wasn't great quality at all, and I think County came to, like most people, like how good County could be came to everyone's attention during that Bolton game in the cup, when the County played so well in that match. It was such a good game of football, and it was like, because you were just about you'd not been sort of firing, had you, up till that point? I don't think weren't you in and around the sort of 8th place or something like that, around about that time, and then from there you just kicked on, didn't you? And it was obvious watching that game that you were like, this is a good team.
Was that Challinger's first home game?
No, he had the league one before that.
Yeah, but sorry, first home win. Because Bromley was a 1-1 draw, wasn't it? And Hogan scored an own goal in injury time, didn't he?
Yes, yeah.
That's the sort of play you've got.
Was it not a carbon copy of the? No, I'm going back even further. I think it was Rusk's first game, wasn't it, where we scored a Stockport style own goal where it went under the keeper's foot from about 35 yards out.
Yeah.
That was. I'm going too far back there.
Right. I'll tell you what, Bradders has arrived. Before we get Bradders out, before I get my good friend Bradders out, just a quick word on the developments behind the railway end. So we've got the 250. I know we've got the 250-year lease now on the ground, which is brilliant. For 250 years, football is the only sport that could be played at Edgeley Park. Stott sorted that out with the council, and now he's, as a temporary measure, I think, secured the land behind Railway End, and he's going to create a 180-space car park to relieve the matchday parking.
It's media parking, we should point out, because I've seen a lot of stuff on like Stockport's. The Edgeley and Cheadle Heath Labour councillors have a Facebook page, and they've obviously posted about the planning permission. Yeah.
Right.
Good lads.
And you're on that.
Don't be a proper Tory, Russ. No, I saw that someone had posted it in the supporters group on Facebook. So I had a look, and there's someone on there whinging, saying, "Oh, it's not. You should be encouraging people to take public transport to the game." It's like, yes, but it's for media. This is a media car park.
Yeah, they're coming from far away. We always get corrected because we don't do our research on this podcast. It's 140 spaces, not 180. I do stand corrected. Sorry about that.
Well, if all the media people come in smart cars, then you'll be right, Russ.
Yeah.
Is the same amount of spaces as you can put in a tweet? Is that done on purpose?
That's amazing, Nick. Honestly, that's brilliant.
You should see some of the other stuff I've got, mate.
I know. God. Right, shall we get Bradders out, and then we can start talking about? We can start swapping notes, non-league and football league notes. You can tell us all about the football league, and death by 1,000 cuts, and we'll tell you all about the non-league, which is similar, to be fair.
And we can also tell you about how much Sky Sports News don't care, to the extent that when John Macken scored for us at Macclesfield, Sky Sports News listed it as Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank scoring.
They did, yes. They did.
No idea. Not a clue.
Right. Should we get another Oldham fan out?
You're joking. Not another one?
Yeah, there he is. It's Bradders.
Hello.
How you doing?
All right, Dave.
Yeah, not bad. Just in the menagerie outside, in the orangery, should I say, of Lego bikes, and I've had to put my iPad on the table mat so I can sort of be elevated to some degree. So
this is the professionalism that we welcome.
There's a count of 5 table mats, so yeah, elevated to the extreme.
Oh, it's just the one for me.
One.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Well,
to no one.
You need to get that sorted for the football league, mate.
So when we do the greatest Manchester football podcast, and the episode when Oldham involved, are we all around yours then?
Absolutely no way.
No.
If you don't like children, then definitely not. If you're
not allowed.
I was going to say Nick's not allowed. I've got kids myself. I don't mind children.
I can't stand them. So You laugh, but it's true.
It's true. Left
Farts
Bollock
in it, you don't mind your own.
Left Bollock says we're only missing Steve
Oh, I
Shipman,
know.
then we've got the whole lot. Steve's probably, I think Steve's pissed in Manchester somewhere anyway, so he's
That's usually that's the default answer for Steve, isn't it? Pretty much.
He's got the right idea, hasn't he? No
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah. No kids.
On the piss. Sunny.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Well, he's on a scouting mission to try and find a Man United fan for the podcast, but
He won't find one in Manchester.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say you're going to struggle in Deansgate, aren't you?
So where do you want to start, lads? I mean, should we tell you about non-league, or do you want to tell us about the Football League? Which one do you want to start with?
Well, we were in the Football League consistently from 2000. From
these bloody hobby clubs.
Yeah, 1907. And so it's a long time. And most of that's like 21 years, like last 21 years until we got relegated, obviously. And we spent 4 years in League Two and then 21 years in League One. So kind of round about, what you're used to. So it's a long time since you were there, but we'd got really stuck, haven't we, in that kind of third division obscurity, and we've really not been in the fourth division for that long, have we? Like 4 years. I was mourning because I was thinking, God, next season it's 5 years in League Two. Like, oh no. But thankfully that record never happened. We got relegated into the National League instead. So I think I would imagine that Dave, would you know more about football in general than I do? Would you say that the fourth division is stronger now than it was when these lads were last in it in 1958?
I've got to say that the fourth division, I think it's the same as the National League, obviously, but higher. But in terms of the football quality, all you need is two lads up front, two big central defenders, and just two wingers that can run and just dribble, and a tough tackling midfielder. There's nothing much to it, and I think that's probably fair to say of the National League. If you just look at the teams that have gone up, like Forest Green, they had Jamil Matt, and there's nothing special about it. I'd say like League One, League Two, and the National League. There's 10 a penny really. The money now is in the Championship and the Premier League. But for me, I don't think because I watched you against Halifax, and I've seen you a few times this season. I think you'll be absolutely fine. I think you'll be pushing for playoffs, mate. Unfortunately, and it grates me to say that, but you're a very, very well-run club, and obviously as an Oldham fan, I'm very envious of that due to the factors that we faced over the last 4 years. And we've been on the downhill trail for a long time. But Football League, I think you'll do all right. The best team that I saw in the Football League that we played against, and we beat them at home, was I'd say Bristol City, but they've gone up. All the other teams, we could have beat them on the day if we'd have had that quality signing, that bit of quality, and that, as I just said, two lads up front, tough tackling midfielder. But we were just too lightweight, weren't we, this season, Matt? Do you not think? It's a 4-4-2 league, 4-4-2 every day of the week, twice on Sunday. These play teams. I think you adopted 3-5-2 under Challoner. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I don't think that'll work. So I think you may have to alternate that to reflect the league. Because again, if you play 3-5-2 in that league, you really are going to struggle, because it's just the way it goes. The pitches are a lot wider, the pitches are a lot faster. But you'd be used to it on County's pitch because that is quite notoriously wide, isn't it, for a pitch in that league? So I think you'll be all right. But again, you're not going to go up to the Football League and go, oh wow, it's the Football League. It's still, it's still going to be, Harrogate on a Tuesday night, and it's still going to be piss poor football. But you might have a better chance than we have.
You mentioned Harrogate because when we dropped down to National League North, Harrogate was one of our first games, and there was this whole thing of, oh God, how far have we fallen? And they've ended up in the Football League before us, and now we're like, Harrogate, come on! Mental, absolutely. I've got this horrible feeling that our first fixture is going to be Stevenage away, and that'll just take the shine straight off everything. It's like, well,
that's it.
We
said last week, didn't we, Nick? There's still tin pot clubs in the league. In fact, Harry just said it as well. Tin Pot League, because there are Tin Pot clubs, and in League One as well. Tin Pot, as we see it as Tin Pot, like Morecambe and Fleetwood. Do you know what I mean?
What's happening though? Like you look up at. I mean, when we were in League Two, I was looking up at League One. Because when you're in the division, you think, whatever, this is a bit crap, isn't it, League One? But then you get relegated and you look up and you look at some of the Portsmouth and Ipswich and Sunderland and all the teams that have been in there, and you look up at it and you think, God. But what's happening is people are coming into football and buying football clubs in the lower league because they're cheaper, aren't they? And they're putting their money into it and they're running them well. And then you get in the likes of Forest Green, Salford, and Morecambe, like you said, Crawley Town, things. So it's almost like, because people are doing this, for me, it's kind of diluting the football league with crap clubs. And I mean that, I don't mean any disrespect to the people who play them or run these clubs or whatever, but no tradition as such of scale, no fan bases. They're not going to travel in numbers and bring, someone's there. I saw they've sold 166 season tickets. They've sold more than us, to be fair. But I've seen, like Bromley took, was it 22 fans to your place or something like that? I think they were on.
Brackley brought 7 one year.
Yeah,
seven.
But when you go up into the football league, these kind of clubs, it doesn't improve vastly. And so for me, it's kind of like slowly diluting the football league and the national league. I mean, I'm not just saying this because Oldham have gone down, because I think that we're going to struggle to get anywhere near the top 3. But for me, I think it's time to start looking at 3 up, 3 down from the football league and the national league, because you've got to start getting more movement from clubs. I think it's such a ridiculously difficult division to get out of, the national league, isn't it?
Well, the trouble is, those at the bottom of League Two who are circling the drain. It's like turkeys voting for Christmas, isn't it? They ain't going to do that. There's no way they're going to do that.
Stevenage, Barrow. That crowd.
Yeah.
There's no way they're going to... I'd like to think if it did come to a vote, though, we'd vote for them to increase, because it's something that's been mentioned by people from County quite a few times in the past few months, how it's not fair that there's only not in a way of us getting our excuses in before, just in case we bottled it, but in case of there is this bottle, like obviously two proper traditional football league clubs have gone back up, and 2 proper traditional football league clubs have dropped back into non-league.
I mean, what's the point? What's the point of having a football season that is like 40 odd games for Wrexham to accrue that many points to finish second and not get promoted? What's the point? Yeah. What's the point for them? There is no point achieving that level, that standard. It's just it makes a mockery for me to finish that many points ahead of the team that finishes 7th and still not go up. I think it's really harsh. I really do. And like I say, I don't think it's going to affect us for a long time, because we're absolutely bobbins.
Well, you look at what happened to Grimsby and Solihull. That Mark Ives is an absolute con man, isn't he? You know what I mean? He's so, charging that amount of money for tickets and then going, oh, well, we could do 3 up and 3 down, but there's big changes planned. He's got no sway or any charisma. He's like an accountant, isn't he, trying to run the Sunday League team. But for me, he didn't inspire me at all when he came out saying, oh, we're going to try and push. He should be banging on the door of the Football League, shouldn't he? You know what I mean?
I'm glad you've mentioned like the National League board and chairman and everything, because there was a thread on Twitter the other day about the gala evening, and it was like a UKIP committee meeting. Honestly, like Rule Britannia being played, everyone waving their handkerchiefs about, a bunch of old white men on stage talking about how much they love running the league, and it's just it is full on.
Well, that's the FA all over, isn't it? That's the FA. As a referee, I've got to be careful what I say, but some things are quite, it raises a few eyebrows in terms of how they deal with things, and it's just an old boys club. Honestly, jobs for the boys. It's shocking how it's run.
I think that's what nowadays. Now we've got this amazing technology that we can broadcast like this to literally tens of people every week.
Are we in double figures? Wow.
We can start, things do need to change, don't they? Things like we were talking before about counties and the county lines and borders, and things change. Like things have to change, things have to progress, things have to evolve, and certain things don't evolve because people are trying to protect their own interests. And that's what I mean. You know what our podcast has been like. Our podcast for the last 2 years has literally just been shining a light on all the things that are wrong at our football club. And then when you do that, you start shining a light on all the things that are wrong more broadly in football, and then more broadly in your community, in politics, all these kind of things that are linked to, which is why I think football is so important. And so it's not just a game, is it? Because it's very much there's a social and community element to it. You start looking at what's wrong with your football club, you start seeing what's wrong with a much wider picture, and you start trying to fix what's wrong with your football club. You can actually have a really positive effect on what's going on in your community, in your town. And that's what we've been trying to do, like with our podcast. And it's really evolved, and we've got a lot more involved. We are on the trust and all that kind of stuff at the club and stuff. So we have to force this change. I know you're big involved at Fan Hub and that, Russ, and that's kind of a similar kind of vibe with that, isn't it? And I think because we've got the platform now, and we've got audiences, and we can communicate and with fans, and we can join forces like we're doing with this Greatest Manchester Football podcast and stuff. You know, we can affect change like in the game and in our community, and I hope that's something that we're able to do now, because I'm really passionate about that, because like I'm just sick of having the piss taken out of me by the people that run my football club, by people who run football, and by people who run your council and all this kind of stuff. So not to get too political, but fight the power.
Yeah, people have forgot that it's money that makes football, and in a lot of respects it does. But it's actually, without the fans, there wouldn't be the money, would they? You know what I mean? And it's all about the fans, and that's what hopefully with this podcast, the Great Manchester Football podcast, that we're going to do.
You say that, Dave, but look at Salford City. They've got loads of money. They ain't got any fans.
They're scum, subhuman scum.
You know that's part for the. That's going to be a debate, isn't it? What you've got a feature, haven't you, lined up, Nick? Which
clubs that can fuck off. This is going to be my leading feature for our new show. I've got a list of about 30 so far. Yeah, Salford a week 2. Yeah. I'm going to go in hard with Crew. They can
get stuffed. Absolutely.
Yeah. Should we change it to clubs that can get stuffed? Should we change it?
Taxidermy.
Well, owls. Oldham would be one. You can stuff an owl. So, you can stuff a hat, I suppose.
Hat?
We wouldn't want to. The hatters, Dave.
What would you put in it? Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, I know.
We've stuffed our hats full of promotion.
Well, we had a mascot once that was literally a guy, a weird looking guy who's meant to be a hatter. He looked like
Let's call it what it is, Russ.
A paedophile.
It was a cartoon paedophile.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
quite clearly.
So I mean, you could have stuffed him. I mean, if you wanted to. But just going back to what Nick said about the National League ceremony. The thread it was absolute. Go back and look at it, or tweet it again, Nick, if you can dig it out. It's absolutely brilliant. But that's the kind of tin pottery you've got to look forward to. Honestly, let's name some tin pottery stuff. I know.
Like, if you drop down to National League North, you don't have 4th officials down there. A representative from the home club has to hold up the board. The club has to provide their own board.
The really distressing thing about this is, we are that tin pot. We are tin pot enough now. Like the way our football club is run, and the things that they do, and how short-staffed it is, and all that. We are tin pot. Like I don't mind admitting. It's like looking in the mirror, you know, and you've got a big massive boil on your head. You've got a big boil on your head. Don't pretend you haven't. You know what I mean? you say it as you see it, and like. We are tin pot. Unfortunately, you look at the state of our ground, you look at the people that are running it, we're totally tin pot. So we are from that point of view, from an administrative point of view, we are where we deserve to be. So, we've and you are rightly going in the opposite direction, because you're being run like a proper football club should be run.
We are now. I mean, we've been through everything. Obviously, you've been. Absolutely. We're not the same things, but the same sort of journey, really.
Can I
Yeah.
caveat? Can I
Being done
caveat
really
that?
badly.
Can I just caveat County for 1 minute? I have got a gripe as doing commentary. You don't provide biscuits to the commentator, and the tea brew making facilities are woeful. So if you're
Right.
listening, Mr. Stockport County, sort it out. A couple of biscuits,
Media
custard
team.
creams.
Well, we have some of the media lads on here. We have John Kieran, we have Liam and Sam, don't we? So we'll speak to them. We'll speak to them.
Should
for
we
you.
dip into the PayPal with us and getting some hobnobs?
Yeah.
Hobnobs. Gary Baldy's, mate.
Why didn't Ian take that?
I was going to say, Gary Baldy, what?
Gary Baldy's?
I've heard of it. I've heard of it.
That's
It's
the
like an
biscuit of the wanker, that is. I'm sorry.
Nick, let me introduce you to Dave.
No. The pink wafer is the biscuit of the wanker.
Yes, in the Crumb Dungeon.
Have you been to that? Have you been to that club, the Pink Wafer?
It's surprisingly produced.
It's a good one.
That picks out for touching.
Something you've got to look forward to is Bromley's moving goalposts. Yes, the goalposts that aren't in the ground because it's a 3G.
The
4G.
goalpost on wheels.
They moved when we had a corner. Somebody bumped into the post. Ball was still in play. The goals moved behind the line. Ball was still in play.
On with a scramble.
Just carried on.
Wow.
That got us 30,000 views on Twitter. That.
Wow.
God.
We could do with moving goalposts where the old strikers have been trying to finish. To be honest with you, it could help.
Probably we haven't got any strikers. That's the point.
You don't need
Chris
you don't need
Porter's
strikers.
just signed, doesn't he? Chris
Yeah,
Porter, 38-year-old, poacher that'll be injured after games.
Yeah.
Yes.
What we were saying, Brad, is before you came actually was we're actually. I know you talk about the leagues and the standards and stuff. We're 7-1 to win the division next season, to sort of double bounce. So we're expecting a very good season next season. Don't want to sound like
Carl Wootton you signed from Notts County. That's a really good signing. That.
Yeah, and Leighman-Evans. I'm going to get used to that as the season progresses. Leighman-Evans.
Connor Leighman-Evans. His first name isn't Lemonade.
Connor Leighman-Evans. Yeah.
Nice.
From talking. It's too many syllables in it for me. Okay,
you'll get a nice you'll figure out an abbreviation or a nickname.
Sounds like a fruit tea, doesn't it? Leighman-Evans. Drink Leighman-Evans. Hard day. Drink Leighman-Evans. Buy Tetley's.
With the Garibaldi.
Absolutely. We can't. You don't put biscuits in fruit tea. You just don't do it. Not in this house, anyway.
Otherwise, you end up out there in Orangery.
I know it's boiling in here. So it's like nice.
I see you're a vape banker as well, like Nick.
I told you that we had a Nick, didn't I?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? What I might do? I might just.
To be fair, that's better. Me and Nick have Corbier's day to day. Yeah, at
Can
least
you move me above?
clip.
Move me above Dave because I like looking above Dave.
No, you can't.
Can you do that?
I'll tell you what, Brad,
looking down
so
on
much
him.
in common. So much in common. We do a podcast together.
Yeah, it's like Celebrity Squares on acid, this, isn't it?
Speaking of drug references, you said about the double bounce. I think it's more like that we're going to double drop in the wrong way. So.
Oh God. Hacienda reference there.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because when we didn't double drop as a football club, but we did drop, and when we dropped, they actually tweaked the rules so that we could drop. Because Aldershot had financial irregularities, and that was the first season that the National League decided that because we were in the 4th relegation spot, Aldershot wouldn't be auto-relegated and we would get a reprieve. Yeah. They actually keeps Aldershot in the division and let us go down.
Was that the Haman days and then the Paul Simpson days where you had Paul Simpson as manager?
Paul Simpson was in League 2, and then we sacked him and got relegated. Haman was early in our first season in non-league and lasted about 2 months. 2 months of like drawing every week and like signing 7 new Scousers every Tuesday.
Yeah,
and then then we got Jim Gannon back for his second spell. He kept us up. And then we decided to get a chief executive in who wanted to play football manager and brought in, who was it, Russ? Was it
Kalasic?
Kalisic, like a youth coach from like Feyenoord or something.
All right.
Who like
okay.
never managed over here in his life. And
Never, let alone non-league. You need someone who knows the non-league, obviously. Yeah.
He lasted a month and a half, and then we brought in Ian Bogey, who couldn't keep us up.
Yeah.
They were dark.
Well, no, because Ian. Oh yeah, he couldn't keep us up, and then he resigned on the pitch the following season, didn't he? After about
Harrogate.
yeah,
He resigned on the
Yeah.
what? Just like
Yeah.
got his
On the
letter of
pitch,
notice.
yeah.
Who did he give it to? Like one of the fans. Pass that to the chairman, will you?
Yeah. Well, it's that
Yeah.
point when no one knows who the chairman is. They're
Right.
just rudderless. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's like that at our place. Yeah, he's in Dubai, so he doesn't do anything. It's just a disaster.
But that's my concern with Shez, Matt. I don't think he knows that when he was in the National League with Chesterfield, he was like fourth from bottom. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And he had a good
right
squad.
horrible time. Yeah,
Yeah, he had a good squad as well. You know what I mean? It's like I remember watching that documentary, like Simon Weaver, and like about the National League managers, and it was like the guy from Bromley. That was called Neil? I can't remember his last name, but he's been there for years, and it was talking about the football and the price of football, and then Harrogate played Chesterfield, and it was just woeful watching that part highlights of that game. It was just like hitting hope. So I'm really worried for next season with Shez, but I don't know.
What about this? What about like the issue at Derby County? Because that's, I think, few Latin fans are clinging on to the hope that if Derby go bust,
that's you bloody hell, that's a long shot. You're asking.
I know,
for a lot
yeah.
there. They'll probably just.
We've had these type of long shots
Yeah.
in the past.
Yeah.
They never come off.
Yeah, they'll probably just, if it does happen, they'll probably just change the size of the league, won't they? And you'll still be down.
Well, do you remember when we finished a place outside the National League North playoffs, and then there was the speculation that I can't remember which team it was. It's like, well, if they win the playoffs, will their ground allow them into? Is their ground too small for the National League? And we're just clinging on to this for weeks. It's like,
Yeah.
not happening.
But when Macclesfield went bust, that Stevenage didn't get relegated, did they?
Yeah, that's true.
So I know that they were in League 2 rather than in League 1. But
That's COVID times, though.
So
that was during the pandemic, wasn't it? That was during lockdown and everything.
Mhm.
So that kind of altered it a bit as well.
still, it's
Mental
potentially
times.
a precedent, isn't it? But
I
I mean,
hope
for me, I'd rather see Derby County survive and us take our medicine. To be honest with you, because I don't want to see any football club go bust. It don't matter apart from maybe Salford.
What about Tranmere?
No, because I like
Liverpool.
No,
United.
even Salford. I don't want to see them go bust, but they need to. I think they need to find their level again, don't they? I think that's appropriate. But like, I don't want to see any club go out of business or go bust or whatever.
Oh, there's
and
loads
certainly
for
not
me.
a club
There's
like
loads for
Derby.
me. Loads for me. Loads.
Not for me. I want them around, like I think, because for me, it's like I would hate it to happen to us, and I'd hate it to happen to
sure, I'm
anybody.
only kidding.
And like local derbies are brilliant. That's what I love.
You're only kidding. Are you sure you're only kidding? Because you said him with some conviction, brothers.
No, Tranmere. I could see Tranmere burn. I could see that happily. Yeah.
Broke our crossbar. We need to invoice them when we see them next season.
They broke your crossbar.
Yeah,
when
they did, yeah.
back when we were in the Football League last time, they didn't they secure safety at our place on the last day, I think, or later on, and then they had a little mini pitch invasion at the railway end and broke the crossbar. Yeah. Happy days.
Oh, I thought like a shot was that hard that it brought the crossbar. like Andy Parker, from Wayne Allison or something like that. I thought it was going to be like, yeah, never mind.
We have done a double drop anyway. Yeah, we forgot to realise this. Trainwreck, aptly named. We dropped from League 1 to League 2. Oh no, we dropped from. We dropped from League 1 into non-league.
And then,
Yeah.
2 relegations in a row. That was
Yeah.
stunning ineptitude, even for us.
Yeah, that's pretty grim, lads. I mean, no, this is the thing. You have been through it, haven't you? You really have been through it. It's not been pleasant, has it? And I know, like you started this pod in 15, so like
it was in the centre of it all.
Yeah, you've been talking about it for a long time. So
but do you know when we started it, we did one a month just because we could fit in the games, like 4 games in an hour, or whatever it was, and just like brush over them. Because I honestly, since we dropped into non-league, I just like you lads have been saying, you particularly brothers, I was just like, I don't care who we're playing, I don't care who the players are, because I don't want to know we should be beating them and we should be back up in the Football League. And I've maintained that for 11 years, a long 11 years. And
It's just been holding on to that delusion.
Yeah. And now we're back in the Football League. I'm gonna play FIFA with me lad, and I'm gonna play Football Manager and get to know all the players like I did before we were dropped out, because it's shit. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you lads. It's shit.
Yeah, it's going to be like the first season's like really. I met Callum, who's a Stockport County fan. He said like it's good for the first season, and then it gets really wears on you for the second season, and then you go down to the National League North, and he said it's just shit. He said it's just awful, you know. So I am looking forward to going to a few away grounds and having a bit of a laugh, and hopefully, and I'm praying that we'll be in the playoffs or some form of promotion position. I really do hope and I pray that we can just get promoted in my lifetime. Do you know what I mean? Because we've not seen anything. You know what I mean?
Do you remember when we were doing our phoning and I was sat here and you were sat there and I'm like, Dave, we're going down, Dave. You know, we're going, no.
I remember watching.
No, we're
them,
going down, Dave. We are going down, and you're clinging onto all that. Dave, there's a big boil on your head, mate.
I think I remember you saying like, yeah, but all we've got to do is like win the next 2 matches and draw another. And then someone said, yeah, but we haven't won for like
10 games.
Why is something going to change? That's just the optimist of a football fan, isn't it?
It's the hope that kills you, isn't it? You know, and I
But that was the thing with us last season, was when Shez came back, we for the first few games he got all his players back available. He had a full. We had such a small squad and such a weak squad that with his best 11, 12, 13 players available to him under Shez, with the bounce, with the fans back in and everything, it helped. And then, but as soon as we got some suspensions and injuries, that was it. And we just didn't have the strength. There was too many games, weren't there, for us to last, because the paper thin squad that we had.
I went to Swindon away, and my daughter said like, it's only a game. You're taking part that counts as a referee, as you do. And then she said, "Are you all right, Dad? Why? Because you scored in like the 94th minute, Swindon to win the game, and we were hanging on." And she was like, "I've never seen that much pain on your face since you had your wisdom teeth out." I was like, "Wow!" So, and she's like, "You're absolutely devastated, Dad." And she's like 9, and it's like she could see it all over my face. It was like gut wrenching. That I was just, you know, and then I carried on going Newport away. That was good, and then it was like Forest Green away. That was dire, weren't it? You know what I mean? On a bank holiday Sunday, it was just. And I remember walking out, and this little old man from Forest Green, he must have been about 85, and he just patted me on the back and he went, "I'm really, really sorry, lad. You know what I mean? Because you're such a good club." And it was like, I was like really seething with anger because he was patronising. But then I thought, well, you know, he actually that was just football in a moment to say, actually, we don't want to see any team go down, you know. And it was just. I was just resigned then to the fact that was it, you know, at Forest Green. I thought that is really it, and I had to prepare myself to go down, and it was a long old bloody drive back, I tell you, but it's one of them. As I say, I am looking forward to the National League in some ways, but I'm also apprehensive as well.
I'm not looking forward to it at all.
Are you not?
One little bit. No, not at all. I think it's going to be
novelty soon. I mean, our first game in non-league was Forest Green away. On live on Premier Sports on a Friday night, and now there's still a bloody division ahead of us.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I mean, we mentioned it. I think it was like last week on the show. We mentioned it. For years, you'd go somewhere and bump into people like friends of friends and stuff, and they'd be like, "Oh, this is Nick. He's a Stockport fan," and people would be like, "Oh." And then the other week I went to see the music gig in Leeds with my girlfriend. She's from Scunthorpe, my girlfriend, and a lot of her mates from back home are Scunny fans. So actually bumping into these Scunny fans at the gig and then being like, "Oh, nice one. I'm glad you're back up there," and just be like, that's when it actually hit me. I think I've kind of like just been running on empty since the Halifax game when the season finished. And that was when I was like, "Oh shit, yeah. We're like a division above you now. How's that happened?" It's like, yeah, it takes some getting used to. But I mean, when we dropped into the National League North, people were singing We all like a bit of gallows humour. Don't get me wrong, but when people are singing Altrincham on a Tuesday night, and you think, oh, and then you get to Altrincham on that Tuesday night. That was when someone threw a plastic dog turd at the keeper, didn't they? Ian Ormston, our goalkeeper. Someone threw a plastic dog poo at him. An 18-year-old goalkeeper.
Is that when we lost 3-0? Did we lose 3-0?
3-0. I think it was our second game in National League North. Yeah. Lost 3-0 at a team where we used to send our kids for a pre-season friendly.
I love the planning that went into that, though, don't you?
Keys, phone, wallet. Oh, Dave, you forgot your dog turd.
Yeah. Did he like spraying with fart gas as well?
yeah. Sticking a whoopee cushion on the away bench. And our mate John from Classic County said, away days of ace. BT Sport coverage, yes, you should prepare to be on telly a lot in the first few weeks.
Yeah.
Until they realise that you probably won't trouble the promotion spots, in which case Wrexham will be on every week.
Yeah.
Also be prepared for Wrexham, which were described on a podcast recently. Was it the Grimsby fan on the Wrexham podcast described them as the world's most expensive pub team?
Oh yes, he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, prior to their playoff match, he said, "Well," and he was dead serious. I was cringing listening to it. But you're just like an expensive pub team, aren't you? You kick it out from the keeper, get it out for a throw in. Tozer will throw it in, and then you've got a big guy up front who'll nod it. And
that's what was so great about the playoffs, though. When Grimsby beat them, pretty much all Grimsby's goals were like long balls into the box and long throws.
I tell you what,
I hope we get that next season. That's what we need next season.
Final, mate. The Grimsby Solihull Moors. What a crap game of football that was. That was the worst game of football. It was so bad. I couldn't believe it. I was like, well, actually, I think we're going to be all right. But it was so bad. And the Chesterfield, when the Chesterfield played the semi-final, that was even worse. It's like,
what do you want, Bradders? You sound like county fans when there's a cup draw. What do you want, Brazil away? It's fucking
no, I mean, just the standard of football. It was so bad. You know, like when you played Halifax at home in your final game.
Dave, as you go down the divisions, that's what happens, mate.
Yeah,
and like you know, it's been League One was crap, then League Two was crap. And now, like, because if your team you support are crap, then the football that you watch is crap, and that's just the way it is. So
you just get conditioned. You just get conditioned. It's like watching your kids grow up. You don't know how tall they are until an auntie comes along and goes, "Fucking hell, you've grown, haven't you?" And you're like, "Well, no, because I've been with them all the time." That's what it is for you lads. You're just going down and down and down. And I don't think it gets real. I don't think football is, in terms of nice to watch standard on the TV, is any good until really top of League One and above. That's when it starts getting good. Anything below that, and I would say you're watching it because it's your club. I mean, we play some nice stuff.
Good cup game, because I know a lot of neutrals who said our game against Bolton on BBC was the best game they've watched in a long time. But then even that. That got peppered with the look at the non-league team. Classic non-league scenes. It's like, but we're not traditionally a non-league team. Their points of view. We're not traditionally a non-league side.
I mean, if you look at that game, I mean, the first goal, deflection, the first goal for Bolton. Then Palmer scores an own goal, and then
conceded some non-league goals.
And then Kitchen heads it back to Ross, who wasn't even in. Ross was just like, I don't know.
He's in a different postcode. For no
exactly. Yeah. So it wasn't great in terms of quality, and they're not. If you watch a game on telly, in fact, when you're there in person, you can really get into it and really, you go, I like watching football in person. On the TV, it's a different kettle of fish, whatever standard it is, isn't it? Yeah. It's a hard watch.
Yeah,
that's the United fans.
Well, God. And this is why I have a problem with them. And when we get one on, I'm going to fucking tell them as well.
Yeah, when they say to like me, like, "Oh, we're having a bad time, just like you." It's like, no, you fucking not. You just spent $500 million on players. So it's like, get
when I did that interview on the BBC Breakfast, I went to BBC Breakfast Studios at Salford Quays, right, dead early in the morning.
He dropped that in like a fucking anvil, didn't he?
Well, listen, it's related. Okay, it's related.
Boom.
So there it was.
To be fair, I saw it. I was running around the house like, I know him.
you know what?
My wife that demonstrates him again on the telly.
Yeah, I put lip balm on before.
Like
So
he's
my
doing
lips,
it,
looks like I've got lip gloss on. That was a bit of a bad error. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make was, right,
Let him make his point.
The woman who was like, with me just before I went into the studio was like, talk about Oldham and all that. Yeah, the fluffer, yeah. She's like, it was that. And she's like, yeah, my team's got problems too. And like, who is it? And she's like, Man United. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Get in the bin.
And I was like, oh, God. But yeah, it was just like, yeah, that's right. I'm not going to get into that. I just nodded and smiled. And then went on and, said about the situation we were in, which is dire. Just on that point about the TV, right? Like we've closed the north stand, which is the stand that faces where the TV's cameras point. So so that's going to be completely empty. The Chaddy end is going to be like completely empty because away fans, there isn't any away fans. We're boycotting en masse pretty much this season. So like there's going to be no atmosphere. They're going to turn up there. They're going to go, right, yeah, we'll give this one a wide berth. It'll be Oldham away games, if anything, that we're on. I think. It won't be Boundary Park. It won't be games at Boundary Park because it's just going to be dead as a duck in there. A dead duck.
Yeah.
So can I ask you a question, guys? What's the top 5 things about non-league that you experienced in your 11 years? There's got to be some 5 things.
Well, like when you say top, do you mean like genuinely top, or do you mean top as in just so fucking stupid that it's
top as in even look at the state of that?
Yeah, that's what
I've opened the floor to you guys. You go. I can't wait for Nick on this.
There'll be loads of get in the comments as well for your top, and we'll show some of them. Go on, Nick. Go on. What's your favourite? While I have a think.
Early contender for me is Jim Gannon getting a touchline ban, and then appealing it and requesting a reason, and never getting anything back. Nothing. Because it's not. It's like the FA kind of just stopped being bothered once you're out of League Two, and it's just some weird committee of like old Brexit voters who just decide everything. And yeah. So that was like 4 years ago, and as far as I know, Jim Gannon's still just sat there wondering why he got a touchline ban. Still not crossed the touchline since then. Yeah. It's just too scared. Talking of officials, Koala Chris has mentioned it in the comments.
Yeah, Boston away.
Boston away in National League North, and we scored a 97th minute equaliser. And you can hear a Boston fan on the highlights shouting, "Where's the assessor? Where's the assessor?" Because it's all the ref's fault. Because it's definitely not a minimum of 5 minutes or anything. Another thing that people can't grasp. No transfer window as well. That's very weird to get used to. You can just Christmas Eve will come round and you'll sign a load of players.
Yeah,
it's like a little present to yourself.
Transfer window. You can have 5. You can only name 5 subs, but a new rule is you can make 5 subs as well for next season. Whereas we only had 3. We could only make 3 with 5.
So you can sign players from other teams in the National League at any point, National League and below. Then is that
no anywhere Football
League clubs
anywhere? Yeah.
Oh, you can sign them from Football League.
I don't think you can sign them from the Football League.
No, the window.
Sarcevic signed.
No, he left Bolton on a free. He had a fallout and left Bolton on a free.
Yeah, he was a free agent. Yeah. You can sign free agents from the Football League, but you can't sign contracted players from the Football League.
But you can sign contracted players from within the National League. And,
And
below. No, it won't matter to us anyway, because anyone's good.
If you do have anyone worth signing, Wrexham will snap them straight up. Especially if you can take a long throw. Bloody hell.
Other stuff. One that I remember recently, it just sticks in the mind. We were playing Chesterfield recently, and there was police advice to have it as a certain kickoff. The TV wanted another kickoff, and I don't think we found out till 48 hours before what time it.
Holiday Monday as well to make it.
Yeah, it was Bank Holiday Monday, so we didn't find out.
Yeah, my mate was kicking off about that. Yeah, big style.
We're getting through on the comments now. Yeah, we've had county player being slam dunked. Yes.
During our National League North phase of just having a team full of 17-year-olds, one of the 17-year-olds literally got choke slammed. Literally, I'm not even exaggerating. It was actually the player just picked him up and went bang and dropped him.
Was it a free kick?
It was got sent off. Yeah.
Red card, but there's no sort of, that happens in the Premier League. That's like getting reviewed and you're getting a 10-game ban. Even Football League, you're getting a 10-game ban for that. But nope, he just got the standard. I think it was a 2-game ban, wasn't it, for violent conduct at that point? Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Just trying to
this is the thing, though. That I mean, in terms of like for us building a team for next season, like we've never managed to build a team for League Two. We've got bullied in League Two, like constantly, like and that's because Moore and whoever has been in charge of the signings, our sporting director. So first and foremost, we need a team full of hard bastards next season who are gonna get stuck in and bully other teams, because it's. I mean, I've looked at is it Boreham Wood? Their defense.
Oh, they will bully you.
Absolute monsters.
Yeah.
Like that's you need big tough lads on getting stuck in, and we've not managed it in League Two. So
you've got one.
The
you've got
two
Hogan,
guys
haven't you? You've got Hogan, but he's only, I know he's only one player, and he is aging now, and he's not as slow. He's slower than he used to be, but at least you've got one. He'll at least be your captain, I would say, and rally your troops. But you need more. You need loads more.
Yeah.
Boreham Wood's defence looked like that Hale and Pace bouncer duo, like the management. Those two guys, it's like they were massive, weren't they?
The keeper as well, Ashmore. If he's still there next season, he's like he definitely misses leg day, but his upper body is proper, like for a keeper.
And Solihull Moors have got that 6'9" lad, haven't they, up front? Who scored.
He's gone to Huddersfield apparently.
Has he?
He's going to Huddersfield. Yeah.
He was
being the club that brought Tom Denton to the world. Huddersfield are now signing another one. Artificial pitches. Yes, that's the boo now was that was a low. The pro-Brexit sign outside Fylde FA Trophy game away. AFC Fylde are the club that invited Nigel Farage there for a game. At one point as well.
We've got them in a friendly in pre-season, actually. I was quite looking forward to that, but
a stadium's just middle of nowhere. I say stadium, whatever it is. It's just don't get excited about that one, mate. Don't bother. You always set yourself up. As Arctic Monkey said, anticipation has a habit to set you up for disappointment.
Exactly. That's why I'm not in any way looking forward to it whatsoever. And if there is any moments of, I don't know, happiness, or if we'll reach even the levels of happiness, then I'll take them. I'm definitely miserable. I've had me fill the last couple of years, like talking about like the decline over every single week. It's draining, like looking into like everything that's going on at the club, like forensically and stuff. It's hard work, isn't it? And then the season finished, and I'm just like, I'm glad it's over. I couldn't wait for it to finish. And I've certainly not reached that point yet where I need football back in my life. You know what I mean? It's like I'm quite happy for it to like to do other things over the summer. I'm presumably by the time football season comes back around again, some kind of fire will have reignited in me. But like at the minute, I'm just whatever. I don't care, to be honest.
Oh, I can't wait. I miss football. I rang you up the other day going, I'm really missing it. Missing the phone, missing football. I honestly, I'm missing it like anything. I get so like down and deflated over these summer months. It's so rubbish. Honestly, even though we got relegated, I can't wait for it to get back. I can't wait for Torquay away. I can't wait for Boreham Wood away. On a Tuesday
but you bought.
night,
you bought a season ticket though, Dave, as well, didn't you?
Oh, here we
go. I did.
So,
I did. Here we go.
Even though there's a boycott and that, and we're trying to starve the owner of money, you, who I consider a friend,
that's me.
Let me just take this knife out of my back.
Well, and I quote my friend Matt Dean: "People have the right to do whatever they want, and we can't criticise or be upset with them because they have their own choices. So I've made my choice.
True,
Live with it."
Listen, if I don't know them, I won't give them shit. If I know them, they're getting shit. You're getting
fine.
Shit about it, mate.
I get photos every night and death threats from Martin. It's fine. It's fine.
Is it?
Fine.
Is it? Are we talking picket line sort of stuff here? Is that what we're getting to?
No. But like, I mean, the
Pretty
thing
much.
is,
It'd be like the miners going back in. Honestly, I'll be like getting bricked in a bus.
God.
I mean, kids getting egged. Go, what are you doing? It's either that or IKEA. It's that's it. You know what I mean? Or a reservoir walk, or going to see your auntie. I do like
there's loads of things to do on a Saturday, There's loads of things to do. No, it's like there's not like 3 things that you've just mentioned.
Reservoir walk.
Reservoir walk.
Dave's got a wheel. Dave's got a wheel on his wall and he spins it.
It's just like
Reservoir, antique, IKEA. Which options? Sat.
Or big shop.
Big shop, yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned Auntie actually, because I guarantee by September, like using your season ticket will just feel like just going paying your respects to some like mad dying auntie. Just like there's newspapers from like 1980 just stacked up everywhere, cat shit everywhere. She had 7 cats. Don't know where they are. No one's found them, and you will just be like, oh, why have I paid this? That's what I was like first season in the National League. I was like, what am I doing with the season ticket?
The thing is, like before there was like an official call for a boycott as such, like it just naturally taken its course. Like people are just kind of like, I've had enough of the owners, and most people, apart from the likes of Dave, have like just can't face going and can't face paying them any money. But obviously, Dave's lifestyle, choices are limited, and there are people like that, aren't there? Look at him, bless him. You know what I mean? But no, that's fine. Like everyone's got, but the point is that people have decided that they don't want to go and support the owners and put any money in and basically back it by funding it. So it's not even taken. I think it's not really taken that much effort, really, from our point of view. People have just sort of, this has been coming where people have said, no, enough's enough. So
yeah, I agree. And I do, and I get it. I do, and I don't want the owners there. I don't, and I am funding them, but I just the club was there before the owners for me, and that's why I bought a season ticket. And my daughter's just getting into it. My son wants to come next season. I know you might say it's an excuse or it's a family day out, but I just can't. I cannot physically bring myself to do it. I can't, and I know you disagree, and we have a bit of a laugh and stuff like that, but. I do support what the trust is. Yeah, I do. The trust, but as Phil Panton said, it's in your blood.
Yeah, but I mean, it's no more in more in the people whose goes blood than the people who don't.
I'm not saying it's that.
I know.
I'm not, but all I'm saying,
it's a harder decision. It's a harder decision not to go than it is to go. Like, and you need to make.
I don't dispute. I give a sacrifice of. I had a refereeing career, for nearly 11 years, and give up my Saturdays to do refereeing, for the good of the game and for to try and get promoted and stuff like that. It didn't happen because of injury, and I give up a lot of time in that respect. But so I'm now giving it back, taking my time, and it is selfish in some respects, and I do get it, but I do things for the club in my own time for free. You know what I mean? And it's all for the good of the club. It's good of the club and for the fan base, and that's why I do it. And on the phone, I want to see the game and give my view of the game for the fans as well. And I know it might be seen as a crappy excuse, but that's why I also want to do it going home and away. It's not just me just going to the home games, I'm going to the away games as well. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah, I've seen I watch your phone-ins. I listen to your podcast every week as well because I'm a podcast pervert. But it's a good balance that it's a good balance you've got, because obviously you go to the games, Matt, you're dead against it, that kind of thing. It's probably a good point just to mention at this point, we've just gone past 4,000 season tickets. So we're quite. Someone said it was a club. The club said it was a record, but everyone's going, no, it's not. We sold more in the Championship.
Yeah, I'm sure we had like 5,500 in the Championship. I'm sure of it.
Well, those records won't be at the club anymore because Ryan McKnight will have burnt them all, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Well, they'd have got chucked in the
shredded him
when Sale Sharks took over.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So yeah, but your phoning and stuff. I think you've got a good balance between the two of you because you sort of face off to each other, which is really good.
Like me and matey boy over here.
I think you have to try and our podcast is like, we're very sort of anti-ownership, anti what's going on because it's terrible and it needs to be criticised. And then, but even people like Dave, who's, he's made his decision to go watch the game and stuff, but obviously he's like anti-owner and, he's vocal about that and stuff. But like, if you actually try and get any of the, the flat earthers on to off Facebook and onto your podcast to actually stand up for the owners, because they just won't do it. Like they won't come off. But it really is that very, very small circle now of people who have got some kind of vested interest or whatever. That most sort of like people like Dave have decided not to. I think most people, a lot of people have said, like, even my mum and dad, they've had a season ticket every year since 1990, I think. And this is the first season they've decided not to go.
What's the end game then? Because if you think about, I don't know how many sort of, I don't know how many scenarios there are here. You starve the club of money and it goes bust and you have to start again a la Berry, or you do what we did is hound them out almost and then start from wherever you've dropped to.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that Abdallah still wants a ridiculous amount of money for the football club.
6 million, is it, or something?
So he says, yeah. So like,
look at Nick's face.
I know exactly. I know. It's not worth anything. It's not worth anything. So, like, the more he has to fund it, the more it becomes unviable for him. That's the thought process. And what we're trying to do is raise money ourselves and try and restructure ourselves so that we can try and buy the stadium as a community benefit society and all this kind of stuff. So we're trying to be. It's all right. Protesting is one thing, but you have to be doing something equally positive on the other hand and taking action to try and raise money. So we've raised money. After we've got a football match against Latics Legends on 26th of June, Avro FC in Oldham, and I think after that point we'll be at about 60 grand, and then we just got to keep pushing it and keep pushing it and keep pushing it. I think like when your clubs are really on the verge, then that's when you start getting serious money in. But it's hard when clubs are still on the surface seemingly functioning to get people to commit.
That's a conversation that's been had like amongst county fans quite a lot about when the supporters cooperative have been raising money, and people do criticise them for raising money quite slowly. But as you said, we've not had that crisis moment that we've got 72 hours to raise however much. We've never had that.
No, we haven't.
Yeah,
that's it.
But what we've done is we've changed the mindset amongst a lot of supporters that this is important, that we could be at that crisis moment. Let's get into the habit of raising money and thinking about what might be around the corner. Because like you said, Russ, like we could end up going into admin and potential liquidation because we don't own the asset and all this kind of stuff of the stadium and all that kind of stuff. So, but what do? You can either just sit around and wait for the worst thing to happen, or you can just say, well, this is terrible. Let's be proactive and try and at least galvanize the fan base and bring everyone together, so that now we've only got a really small group of people who are sort of like sticking to their guns, if you like, in terms of defending the owners. I think that's a very small, like I say, because there's people that are going next season that bought season tickets, but they won't defend the owners because you can't defend the indefensible. Well, some people can, but most reasonable people can't.
Let's just touch very quickly as well on the drop in revenue from Football League to National League. I think we got some figures through from our co-op meeting, our co-ops meeting with our club as to what those figures are. I'm sure it was along circa 800,000 for TV and solidarity payments in the Football League. That drops down to 80k.
Yeah.
In the National League.
Well, when you think that our owner got an EFL loan for about 480 grand, right, while with the pandemic and stuff, because which then meant that the club couldn't sign players beyond a certain budget. He couldn't have the squad to beyond a certain number. When it came to the transfer window in January, when a couple of decent players would have made the difference and probably kept us up, we couldn't. So he wasn't prepared to put money in his pocket then. So now we're all that money's gone. Where's the money going to come from? If he's not prepared to put his hand in his pocket, and fans aren't going to go. But the problem is the club aren't saying, right, there's an issue here. Why the fans aren't coming? Let's address that issue. they're just not interested. They're banning fans from going. They're banning fans from protesting on the pitch after the Salford game. Like, this is what you're up against. You know, like there's a problem, try and solve it. But no, it's just all very sort of adversarial. So, you know, the gloves are off really now, to be honest.
It's the head in the sand as well from the club. They don't communicate. They communicate really poorly when they do. And they've got this nutter who's an advisor called Barry Owen in there as well. And
he is a nutter. That latest statement that came out on your official club website, I read it. The first paragraph, I read it and went, "That's Barry Owen." That.
Yeah,
you can just tell by the way it was written. And I'm not an Oldham fan. I listen to your podcast. I listen to the ones you had with them. I'm just like, what? Why is he anywhere near that club? Honestly, it's unbelievable.
It's ever decreasing circles, Russ. It's like, you know, like when it's like Hitler's bunker. You know, there's always.
You know, I'm normally the one who mentions Hitler. You can't title for the podcast. I've already got about 7 potential.
Guys, I live in Prestwich. Whoa, with the Hitler stuff. Come on.
All I'm saying is,
looking over the fence. No, it's fine. It's fine.
It's you know, it becomes a more and more unpopular place to be as Berlin burns and the Russians close in. Like only more sensible generals and whatnot have done one, and then you've got your Goebbels and that who are
Goebbels did a better job of communicating than Barry Owen. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but the point is that it's ever decreasing circles, and people are just they're desperate to talk to whoever will work with them now at this point. You know, Dictator Claxon. Yeah, it is. It's
every bloody week.
Yeah, it's out of the Dictator handbook. It really is. It really is. They're all the same.
Can I just flip it onto you? And I'll go and get a beer. Well, after I've asked it. Give us 5 of your favourite things about Football League that you're going to miss.
Yeah, and Russ is just going to walk off because he doesn't care that much about the answer.
It's going into the first round of the FA Cup without going into the qualifiers. That's definitely one that I'll miss.
But I still miss automatic entry into the third round of the FA Cup. Never mind. Do you know what I mean? That was great, wasn't it, when we used to do that?
You know, laughing at non-league day, because I used to laugh at that and go, "Oh, what a sad set of wankers," you know. But now we're going to be part of it. We're going to be going, "Please come on, non-league, mate." It's like, fuck you, wankers.
Honestly,
non-league day. Let's go watch Mosley. Like,
non-league day it's just sex cases wandering around in like United and City hats. That's literally it.
Yeah, being allowed to. It's their day to do that and come and pity your club.
I thought that was like pretty standard at County.
Like particularly City
that
way, mate.
Don't get us started on that. Honestly, we'll have a separate podcast about that on the Manchester.
I saw 4 City fans at the last game who I know who were City fans. They're like, "Why'd you go?" It's like, "Oh, because County are doing well," and it's like, "Oh, you absolute mugs! What are you doing?" Honestly, you weren't there when Tony Dinnington scored 2, did you? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Especially when there's loads of Spurs seats at the Etihad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Come on,
Ed Sheeran's filled it 4 times this week, which is 4 more times than they ever fucking have.
Gonna miss the transfer window, you know, January signings and stuff like that. Now that we can sign whenever we want, really, like the transfer window is quite exciting. You know, when you get we got signed like Chef Kikuchi from Newcastle once. It's like, oh my god, we signed a Premiership player. It's like under Dickoff.
But Bradders, that excitement comes back when you get good enough in the National League to have to buy players that are part of the transfer window. Do you get me?
Okay. Yeah.
You're like, we're signing players that are under the transfer window. Oh my god, you know.
I'm not sure on what we said before about the transfer window, because we signed Andy Cannon from Hull during our window and not from theirs, Russ. So I think we can sign from anyway. I'm fairly sure we can sign, because we also signed Francis Angol from Hartlepool after their window had closed last season.
But were they not loans? Is that not different?
No, they were loans.
You signed is it Hippolyte as well? You signed as well.
Signed Hippolyte from Scunny, yeah. And
and he was on
loan. That was
in
January though. That was it. No, that was a free transfer. That was in January. Yeah.
I'm sure somebody will tell us.
Well,
Simon
Lomas has told us.
Yeah, he already knows. Simon's pretty good. Well, what? I thought. Well, obviously I'm wrong. Fuck it.
It doesn't matter to us. We're a football league club again. It doesn't matter now.
I know it doesn't matter now.
I tell you what I'm gonna miss. Proper towns and cities. Because like as you fall down through the football leagues, like you go from going to like big proper towns and cities and getting off train stations, in places like Huddersfield and Nottingham and stuff like that. But I mean, obviously we've got Nottingham in the National League, but then you just end up in these little hamlets, don't you? And these little places. Because when you go away, you want to go proper away day. This like you're in a thriving city centre, a Bradford or a wherever, like a Leeds or something, and you've got a great day. But like non-league, I should imagine it's going to be pretty sparse.
That was a low one, like playing at North Ferriby away, and the official Twitter feed was the second half kicks off with County kicking towards the allotments. And it's just like, what is going on?
Yeah, and they were very good as well, weren't they? They were like they were spending loads of money, weren't they? Yeah.
North Ferriby were normally
they beat us and everything.
You can see the Humber Bridge. There's a city over there. There's an actual city of culture beyond that bridge.
North Ferriby.
Oh my God! Sorry, that I was proper. That tickled me. That North.
Listen,
Ferriby.
they funded their front line through a particularly rich harvest of turnips one year, didn't they? I mean, like don't knock it. You know what I mean?
Didn't North Ferriby have a Texan millionaire or something that donated? Or
no, it was Hull's owner, the Alam family. Also,
was it right?
He bought North Ferriby as a present for his daughter. Most people just get a box of Clare. He's like, hey, I've got you a football club with a fucking allotment on it. But North Ferriby implies the existence of like an East, West, and South Ferriby. No, none of that. Just North.
I'm sure there's a South Ferriby. I'm probably going to talk bullshit again, but
the West Ferriby.
That's the allotments,
yeah. David Wright, friend of the show. Thank you, David, for the trailer that we played at the start of the show. Eastleigh's ground. If a plane overshoots the airport runway, it'll end up in the stand. Ditto Solihull as well. If you have a bad game at Solihull away, you can just watch the planes. Fantastic. It's pretty much on the runway at the airport. Great.
There is a South Ferriby. It's North Lincolnshire.
Coming out.
Yeah, it's going to be grim because League Two was shit. It was really shit. Yeah. And like I said about looking up the divisions every time you drop one, looking at the clubs like longingly above there, and looking at the towns that you can go to and the away days that you can have, and I just know this is going to be bobbins from day one. Like it's just going to be crap. So like. Yeah, I mean, we'll still have fun. Like, I mean, it's all relative. Like, you still have some good days out, and we'll go and all that kind of stuff. But in relative terms, compared to the Football League and even what now the glory days of League One, like it's just going to be pretty rubbish.
You'll have to give it a name. We've got the dark days and the banter years, amongst others, haven't we?
Yeah.
So
the non-league weirdo scene as well.
Oh, the non-league weirdo scene, yes.
The abyss.
I think we'll fit right into that, won't we? The non-league weirdo scene, and then that should be easy enough.
Liam Root says Eastleigh is a good day out. There's no need to lie, Liam. No need to lie.
I sense somebody's trying to get us to like trick us into going to Eastleigh.
I'll be going. I'll definitely be going.
Well, we already know that your other options are, Dave. So
these teams like Eastleigh, they're just a second team.
Anti-Eastleigh Reservoir.
Yeah. IKEA. Yeah. It's a trouble thing with Eastleigh is when you see the signs for Southampton, like you said before, Matt, all these different clubs that you go to, you see the signs for the big clubs, and you just think we should be playing them. I remember like Colwyn Bay away and seeing the signs for Chester and Wrexham and thinking we should be playing them. We should be playing Colwyn Bay away. We should be playing Chester and Wrexham. And then obviously as we go up, you sort of set your sights a bit higher, don't you?
Yeah.
So you'll be going down to Eastleigh thinking Southampton. We should be playing Southampton, not Eastleigh.
If you get your ownership situation sorted out, you should charter a plane, get on a plane to Eastleigh, because Forest Green's owner doesn't like that, does he?
I tell you what, Si Lobas is getting lots of outings today, isn't he? What's going on?
Yeah, he loves it.
And he's paid me 50 quid.
I mean, famously at Latics, when we got to the quarter-final of the League Cup in 1990, we got to the final actually that year, but on the way to the final, we chartered a plane. I say I was 12. I had nothing to do with it. Neither did I fly on it, but the team and a lot of fans flew down to Southampton for that game, and by all accounts, it was a very, very jovial flight home, as you can imagine. We got a last minute equaliser in that game, didn't we?
Andy
Ritchie scored in injury time. None of that. It'll be Eastleigh for now.
I am looking.
Yeah, we know, brothers. You're looking forward to it. You said,
Honestly, I really.
I suspect, I would encourage you to watch the Latics football phone-in, because at some point next season he's going to get punched. I would imagine.
Do you know what though? I was going to say September, October. We'll get you back on and see if it's changed.
Latics football fighting. We'll be scrapping me and him.
We've been on for an hour and a half, and
yes.
Vicky Sweeney West is the first person. I can't believe I forgot this. This is my favourite thing in non-league ever.
You've mentioned it a few times.
The pipe smoking woman of Tamworth. The weirdest thing. Tamworth away, and there was a woman smoking a pipe. I mean, anyone smoking a pipe is archaic, but it was like a middle-aged woman smoking a pipe, and I just thought, this
is that one of your conquests, Matt?
Listen, I'm very easily seduced by the smell of pipe tobacco. I think it smells fantastic.
And a dirty thumb.
The smell of condor. And my Uncle Jack used to smoke one, and the way that silvery blue smoke just hangs, very heavy smoke, just hangs in the room. So I think it's a very attractive proposition. A woman smoking.
She caught my eye in a smoky room.
David Wright has mentioned the traffic cones being thrown at players. That was my mate who did that. My friend Matt, friend of the show, he threw a traffic cone on the pitch at Harrogate away, and it was like right in the goal mouth, and they didn't even bother taking it off because we just weren't troubling the goal at all. So he just left it on there, and then he had to do club ordered community service clearing litter at Edgeley Park. So that was good for him.
Did he take the traffic cone in the ground disguised as a hat, or was it already in the ground?
No. Yeah, it's in the ground. He's a student.
Yeah, disguised as one boob. Like
yeah.
Was he putting tobacco in it, trying to smoke?
Traffic cone theft.
Luke Walsh, who's Shaman Talks, as in Halifax. So if you listen to
Ebenezer Good.
No. But if you want to get some insight into who you'll be playing next season, then he started a new a VNL podcast for around the National League. He reckons it's going to be a good away day for them. But that's what everybody will think for Oldham, won't they? Next season, nice big ground, Championship / League One size ground.
Yeah, they'll do it first season. They won't be back second season when there's like nobody there at Boundary Park, and it's all the pubs around the ground have shut because there's no fans go there. It's not. I mean, it's not as good as it should be, and that's another part of the problem. I'm looking forward to Halifax away. That's one of the ones I am looking forward to. Decent sized ground, aren't they there? And it's standing, which would be good, and it's a good day out on the piss in Halifax. So I'm looking forward to that.
Maybe we'll get Bradford on the same day. That'd be good if we have Bradford away on the same day. You got Halifax. Oh yeah.
Maybe
the police won't be liking it, but we will. That's the main thing.
Just going back to what you said, Brad, is about top things about non-league. For me, I say top things, just banter really. Playing Oxford City as opposed to Oxford United, and playing Bradford Park Avenue as opposed to Bradford City.
Running track at Bradford Park Avenue.
Yeah, I mean when we played them, it's how far you've fallen when you're playing the non-league equivalent of that big town.
Yeah.
I've commentated there, and they're lovely people. Don't get me wrong. It's really the hospitality is great, but
biscuits.
It's just quite sad, when you just see like 100 people in that massive stand, and then you've got the pitch that's like 50 yards away, and you can just about see the other side. We've got them in a pre-season as well.
Have you?
Yeah.
Bradford Park
Yeah.
Avenue. Is
And
there
you
an
know what they've
IKEA in
done?
Bradford?
Yeah, I think.
You know what they've done on the advert that Latties have put out? They've put Bradford in big letters and then Park Avenue in little brackets after it.
Oh no, that's how they. That's
Is that how they
Park
do
Avenue's
it?
emphasis. That yeah.
Is it?
But it's really petty because Bradford Park Avenue claim that they had the Bradford name first.
Right.
So you go on Bradford Park Avenue's message board, where there's like 3 of them posted.
This is what Nick does, by the way.
But just 3 local nonces posting on there and start arguing with each other. And they call Bradford City Manningham because they're in the Manningham area. Of Bradford.
Right.
And they're just really pleased with themselves. It's like no one cares. So yeah, they are Bradford Park Avenue. Yeah, that's their
Right.
emphasis.
Okay, well,
that,
fair
which
enough.
makes it
I just
weirder.
assumed that the club that everything is something
Just
to have a
clear it
bottom
up for you.
about. Yeah. Thanks for that.
I've been there.
Fun fact though, I saw Dennis Irwin at a game when I was commentating at Bradford Park Avenue. What the fucking hell he were doing there? Probably trying to find IKEA, weren't he? Just got lost.
He's in Leeds.
Or your auntie.
Yeah, well, yeah. Hey, whoa.
Kill 2 birds with 1 stone one week, Dave, and take your auntie to IKEA and then go for a walk around Reservoir. 3 birds with 1 stone.
Oh, a reservoir. You mean a
Reservoir.
reservoir?
No, I mean reservoir. I got a lisp. I got a lisp once on the podcast, which came out of nowhere.
What you just caught one? Was it the contagious?
Just started lisping.
Good. Christopher Eubank.
These things can happen when it's live.
Best of times. It was a waste of time.
When it's live and going on forever.
Yeah.
So I was going to say it is going on forever because it's live. So shall we?
I was going to say, what have we learned? But I wonder if you've got.
I think we've learnt more about Brad's auntie than anything else, to be honest.
Well, yeah. Don't knock it until you've tried it. Oh, no, don't do that. No, seriously, don't. She's married.
So shall we start to wrap it up there? We'll do our admin. I mean, do you want to go? We'll do some admin. You can stay for that if you want. It won't take long, and then we'll say
admin.
goodbye.
Like what? I mean,
we're gonna be laughing at me.
It's a bit of an army term, that isn't it? Like admin.
Paperwork.
You know, like,
I don't know.
Yeah, it used to be called parish's notice. Or
Right.
parish notices. I used to get it wrong. We changed it to admin because of that, basically.
yeah.
Let's hope this is the only admin you have to endure.
Oh well, yes. Let's hope so. But
Yeah.
who knows?
So few things really. Jack Taylor has contacted us. He's boxing on the 22nd of July. Big county fan, and you can go and watch him. It's like I think
it's an organised thing. It's not just
it's an organised thing. Yeah, he's not just boxing in a park or something. He's described it as like white collar fighting, but the next step up, whatever that is. I'm not a boxing fan. I don't know. So anyway, 30 quid a ticket.
It's good white collar. Yeah.
That's it.
When I think white collar, I think of the Chippendales.
Yeah.
It's not vicars fighting each other, is it?
Yeah.
Priests versus vicars. It's sectarian.
Celtic and Rangers all over again.
Brutal.
If you want to go, can I just finish it? If you want to go, get hold of him. It's at Jack_Taylor on Twitter. He's asked us to put get a sticker for his shorts so we can put. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to advertise ourselves on his shorts. He's a regular listener, listens every week. So cheers for that, Jack. There's a few things coming through. This week's LP from we'll get to that, Ian. You always do it like before we come to do it every single week, Ian. Honestly, right? Just we'll get to it. We're hosting a book launch on the 24th of July in the new venue at Stockport train station called Basque. It's the 100 Club book launch from Phil Brennan. So every player that has achieved 100 appearances for the club, and there's a few guests there, a few of those players. We're gonna be like hosting that and emceeing that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nick. We've got Ash Palmer, we've got Sam Minion, we've got Jordan Keane, I want to say.
Jordan Keane. We've got Mike Flynn. We've got John Rutter. We've got Bill Williams. We've got Andy Thorpe. Yeah.
So we're going to have to plan that pretty well, and we'll get through that. And that'll be full of all the usual laughs that me and Nick provide. I say me and Nick. Nick provides. No pressure, Nick. You can get tickets for that.
I've watched the Challenger show back, and you were funnier than me, Russ. You got more laughs than me. I checked on my decibel meter.
Yeah, on your clap on
Yeah.
where it's gone.
Yeah.
I can't even fucking say it.
Clap on me to where I check which venereal diseases I've got.
Tell us about the Hatters Half Marathon. Just as you're taking a drink. Go on, tell us.
Marathon. It's not a full marathon. I checked. I made sure it's a half marathon. Yes, I am one of the county supporters cooperatives designated Hatters Heroes. It was called Hatters Heroes. It's been rebranded as Danny's Heroes this year because obviously we're fundraising for the Danny Bergara statue. Sponsorship. Or what do you call it? What do you call it when someone? Yeah, they sponsor you to do the race, don't they? They sponsor me to not die, basically. Yeah. So, I'm going to be doing that. It is Sunday, the 4th of September. Go to hattershalf.co.uk and you can sign up, whether you're an affiliated runner or a non-affiliated runner. But more than that, I've started my training this week, Russell. I've been running late at night,
Nice.
so I'm very worried I'm going to be mistaken as like a sex attacker. But it's going well. It's going all right. I can feel all those bits of my lungs like opening up that weren't there before after years of smoking. So I've got my vape, I've got my cordial.
Oh,
I've got a bag of lettuce leaves in the fridge. So I'll be fine. I've been on 2 runs, so I think I've run a total of about 4.5 miles this week. Not like a route. I live opposite a massive park, so I just do various laps of the park and stuff. Yeah. So I've not died yet.
So if people want to sponsor you, how do they do that?
The co-op will be sorting all that out. The details are not forthcoming yet, but they will be very soon, I believe. I think there's going to be I really hope there's going to be other people doing the Danny's Heroes thing because I really, if I don't finish or die, then there's no money going for the Danny Bergara statue. So I really hope there's another couple of people. Might stick you in a wheelchair, Russ, and just push you along with it. Maybe I'll do it in a funny costume. Maybe that's the best way.
I think we're onto something there. Yeah.
I might dress as you, Russ.
Do it full match kit.
Well, I have been wearing a selection of county shirts. I say a selection of county shirts. I've worn 2 county shirts for my 2 runs that have gone. Yeah. Representing Mark Stott's Vita Army. So yeah. But I might take suggestions for what I'll have on the back of my shirt. We might take.
I think maybe like wear your shirt and then maybe speedos as well. Would be a good.
Well, I've made the
took your shirt
mistake.
into your speedos, and no, I think in order to get prepared, you should train like that as well. To be honest.
I've made the horrific error of because I'm quite a loose fitting boxer shorts man. My testicles don't thank me, but I am. I'm getting to the point now where I'm like doing my stretches, and there's stuff popping out. So I'm going to have to have a serious think about the attire that I wear. I think I'm going to have to go out and get some proper like running undies.
No,
they're called rundies.
Yeah.
It's like Curb. It's like Curb episode where he runs up the stairs and he's like, "Get a long ball, Larry."
But whatever I wear, it's going to be full of shit and vomit by the time the race is finished. So I don't think it really matters. But yeah.
Don't do a Paula Radcliffe. Whatever you do.
When is it, Nick, again? Sorry.
Yeah, when is it, Nick?
It's Sunday, the 4th of September. And the route starts at Edgeley Park, goes like kind of down the River Mersey, then up to Northenden. But I'm thinking Northenden, that's not far from the Princess Parkway. I can get home from there. So I might just do a half marathon. Call it a day, I think.
Yeah, you just live off there, don't you? Right, good.
Good luck, Nick. Good luck.
Good luck, mate. And when it comes to sponsorship, we'll get the details out for that. This coming Saturday, we are premiering
showing
for the first time. The Premier Inn. That's it. It sounds like the Premier Inn though. We're showing the first. No, not the first. We're showing the Dave Challoner interview gig from the King's Tap that we did about 3 or 4 weeks ago, but fully edited, like nice video. And you saw the promo at the start of this show. Probably play it at the end when we close as well. So those that watch the live stream or watch the live stream back, sounds really poor, all that kind of thing, then you can watch it again in high definition, proper sound, because we were mic'd up and everything. And cheers to Dave Wright, who's done a cracking job on that. So for any videography sort of needs, then please do contact Dave Wright, or we can put you in touch with him. Absolutely superb. Anything else from you, Nick?
Well, yes, and I'm gonna. Yes, yeah. Hang on.
Okay.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, Liam Root keeps saying, "Can I come on the show? Can I come on the show?" No, you can't. And Russ will tell you why. Who have we got coming up in the next 3 episodes, Russ?
Yes.
And he'll know why he can't come on.
Yeah, you might realise. So in the next 4 episodes of the show, we have got Chris Warburton coming on next week, next Thursday. He's going to be live in the County Arms. Chris Warburton, if you don't know, is a bona fide radio presenter on BBC Radio 5 Live.
Hate this.
It's going to be great. He's been coming to County last season, lives locally now. He came to about 8 or 10 matches last season. Said he'd come on the show, so we're going to get him on, and we'll get loads of tips off him how to do this shit, basically.
Are you going to slate him like you did about those other fans of other clubs coming to County when he comes on? Who does he support normally?
We're gonna find out all that stuff and then treat him with respect because he comes to our games and doesn't take the piss out of everyone or wear a City shirt. So yeah,
right, okay.
We'll manage that, Matt. Because I've got this system, right, where everybody, it's like pointless. Everyone starts on 100 points, and then when they tell me who they support and why, it starts to go down like that. So so straight away, who do you support? United, straight to 50. Do you go to the games? No, 50. Straight to 10. Yeah.
Are you a convicted sex offender? Down to 0.
After that, we have got to be confirmed, but we're hoping to get Ben Whitfield on.
Yeah, he's up for it.
Current player, Ben Whitfield. He's up for it.
Son of June.
Yeah,
possibly.
We're talking about her acting career.
The week after that, we've got Dave Conlon's coming on. So, county assistant
member
manager
of the current coaching team and county royalty. Yeah.
Yeah, Dave Conlon.
So that's why you can't just come in the comments and say, "Oh, I want to come on," because we've got bloody big guests coming.
We've got loads of guests coming on, and Niall Arthur-Nayaki has agreed to come on as well, and he's another BBC Radio 5 live presenter who comes to the games.
The county bug.
He caught the county bug. He's a Spurs fan. So, but he lives locally, been coming to the games, got the bug. His lad plays for County Colts. So we'll get him on and, yeah, happy days. And then we've got loads more in the pipeline. So, yes.
Yes.
Happy days.
That's nearly it. Oh, the LP and my smooth link into plugging my show. So it's Primal Scream's Vanishing Point this week, as chosen by my missus, who is, as we speak, in the kitchen cooking my tea. I will be on Greater Manchester's Real Rock Radio this Sunday from 1 till 3, playing the best of both classic and new and unsigned indie, and talking a bit of shit as well. So if you didn't think I've spoken enough shit for the last 2 hours on here, get tuning in on Sunday.
But to be fair, it's not like sweary, funny stuff that you do on here, is it? It's all a bit serious and 1986 and stuff like that.
Yeah, it is a bit. Oh, that's the latest tune from Kirsty's Metal Hands, Probe label in 1985, and that was their Peel session. Yeah, that type of stuff.
You drop your T's for D's, yeah.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I go full Terry Wogan and kind of like go up at the end of the sentence. It's like, we've had a letter here from June in Cheadle. She said, we're having a lovely time. That type of thing. Magnificent.
June in Cheadle.
Sorry, Ben from Hazel Grove, it should be.
No, Ben from Hazel Grove. Oh, love Dave Long. And yeah, it's all good stuff. So yeah, what do you want to do? Let's just wrap it up, shall we?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. I've had
Well,
Yeah.
in fact, Matt Bradder's got any admin for us? Anything about a new podcast?
Just a charity game, isn't it? Really, Matt, on the 26th of June. That's Avro for the Oldham Athletic.
Latics Legends, managed by Andy Ritchie. Andy Ritchie texted me today. That's cool.
I bet that's great, that, isn't it?
Well, I texted him first, and he didn't ignore me, so that was good. And we've got Dave. You're reffing, Dave. First of all, celebrity ref.
I am.
Celebrity.
Non-celebrity.
Love it.
And we've got Richie Wellens. He's playing. David Ayres, the legend.
Clive Vinard.
Fitz Hall. Yeah,
David
it's a good team.
One size.
Henning, Paula Chupka.
Yeah. Well, it's really good. Really good team.
This is very much like 90s Championship Manager, and I'm all for it.
No, it's going to be good. You should come up, lads. It's going to be good. Sunday
I think that's the day after my birthday, so I might pop up for that. Yeah.
It's going to be really good. Yeah. Sold loads of tickets. We're on course to make a load of money.
No abuse, please.
Abusing the ref. The ref is going to get absolute dog's abuse.
I'll only be
Referees
abusing
are
people who
humans
bought an
too.
Oldham season ticket, despite everything that's going on.
Fair enough. Bring it on.
Isn't there a fans game? A county fans arranging a fans game to support you guys and your funding?
That's true. Adam got in touch with us, and he's organising that. I think that's on the 9th of July, I think.
Yeah.
Badly prepared as always, but yeah. So that's a nice touch, I think, from a county fan who wanted to help out and raise a few quid for us, and like that's one of the great things. Like we do all this banter, and obviously we've got the Greatest Manchester Football podcast. You can follow us at GM. What is it? GMF Pod. GM Footpod at Twitter. On Twitter.
Smooth.
I'm doing my Nick boys. And obviously like. It's all banter and it's all fun, but it's nice how fans from other clubs do pull around you when you're in the shit, because they're football fans first and foremost. Like, that's nice. So we do appreciate that. So thanks to Adam for that.
Well, it's worth pointing out that Oldham were one of the only fan bases that had sympathy for us when we were going through the same situation, and that's something that's not lost on a lot of our fans. I think a lot of people have pointed that out on the various message boards and cave dwellers websites and whatever you call them, all that type of stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. Peace and love, man.
Yeah,
dude. Right,
and you know what? That's a great way to end it, on that peace and love.
Group
so I'm going to try and really sort of smooth it out now and play a video and get us out of the screen. So thanks to everybody for watching. Do like, comment, and subscribe. All those usual things. Let me just check how many likes we're up to. Got to refresh the page here. Oh, here we go. In a second. I'll just keep on talking until it happens.
Thanks for having us on, lads, by the way. We've enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, it's been really enjoyable, actually.
We're on 32 likes. Can we get that up to 100 as per normal? And that'd be really, really good. And yeah, thank you very much. Cheers, thank you, as we say in Stockport these days.
Indeed.
Bye.
Take care, guys.
So tonight we've had an audience with the one and only Dave Challoner at the King's Tap in Cheelahome in Stockport. Around 40 or 50 people, I think, attended. Me and Nick asked questions and got loads of private insight from him. So it's not in a pub where there's loads of people shouting and stuff. It was really intimate. I've been doing a county podcast since January 2015, and tonight was just an extension of that, in association with Fan Hub.
Dave Challoner coming down is fantastic. We hope we can have more of that interaction. That's brought our crowd down, and for the Stockport fans, it's a huge value for them. So to see their leader who's taken them back into the Football League for the first time in so many years, and that's exactly what we're looking for. We think that Stockport have seen the value in what we're doing, and we really reward that, and we hope that more clubs can see that value and partner with us next season to deliver these events. But Russ has done a fantastic job with the live podcast. That doesn't have to be the strict format, but we're really looking to deliver more live events to benefit our users and fans going into next season.
So it's a really good partnership, and long may it continue, and we'll do more of these. We've got plans to get more players on and do even more, so watch this space.